Well,
Um,
I feel like to save time, since we're running out of time, the only game that we shared on this list of disappointments is Street Fighter V, which I know is a big
yeah,
game for you, and I'm a big Street Fighter fan, and I don't know. You want to take the lead on this one?
I did the review for Biff Bam Pop. Matt
Okay.
hooked me up with that, and at the time, like I will say, pre-release, in the bit like pre-release version of that game, online worked fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It did, and when the actual game came out, busted.
Nope.
Yeah, it was completely shot. At the time, I really liked some of the design decisions they had made regarding making execution easier,
hmm
to make it easier for people to perform big combos
Yeah. More
and
approachable.
more approachable. And as time progressed, some of the holes in that particular approach came to light, where it was like, oh, wait, everyone can do these big combos now, and now everyone's playing exactly the
Exact
same, and there's
same. Yeah.
no individuality. It's always just like, do the most optimal thing in this situation. And
Yeah.
it really wore me down.
Yeah.
And I still played hundreds of hours of it.
hmm
It was the most success I've had like playing in a tournament. I actually won a tournament. I
Nice.
won the Cineplex, like the largest movie theater chain in Canada has like a whole esports side now, where they run esports tournaments at the theaters all across Canada, and then they do
hmm
like national finals in Toronto. And I won the Kingston qualifier. Kingston's like a 3 hour drive, and I won that, and I ended up placing 17th in the country in the nationals in
Wow.
Toronto. So like I played a ton of this game,
hmm
and I just hit a point where I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Kind of done. Yeah.
And on top of that, like that game was bare bones feature wise at launch with terrible single player, and
What
it
single player?
yeah, that survival mode is the worst.
Yeah. No,
Still
not good.
awful.
Yeah, I just like when it came out, like I was really hurt that there wasn't a story mode, like even like any sort of semblance of it, so that really kind of hurt. Um, but I just felt like I don't know, maybe it's like we said, everyone online was doing the same stuff. Like there was just so many Ryus and Kens, and like no one else was playing these other characters, and I'm trying to like jump in and learn it, but I'm just getting my butt whooped. And I feel like when the game first came out, there wasn't any penalty for people that dropped.
Nope.
And God, that made me so mad because like whenever I think I'd be winning, like they would just leave and I'd get so pissed. And oh my God. And yeah, and just I think also like personally, like no one else around me actually played, so I was only playing online. And I kind of missed the aspect of having like other people to talk about with it and like discuss things because people at work that normally played, they had left and didn't play together anymore. And so yeah, I just kind of didn't do it for me. And which is disappointing because I played a boatload of Street Fighter 4 and I absolutely love Street Fighter 3. So, and I mean, I've heard 5 is better now, like with the arcade edition and everything they've added. I've never got back into it.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Arcade Edition,
hmm
and it's definitely like now it's a complete game. I
Yeah.
still have fundamental issues with the way that it plays.
hmm
Um, I do have interest in going back though, because I kind of want to play more Monot. I
Oh yeah,
think
yeah.
that in a game where, like, one of my fundamental complaints about the game is that so much of that game is about like face to face offense.
Right.
In Street Fighter 5, like you can throw fireballs from far away, but people have so many tools to just get around that. And
hmm
like the reward for hitting a fireball is like 5% damage, or I can land one combo on you in close and do 40.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so like
Exactly.
there's
Yeah.
no point for anyone to do anything other than be in your face all the time.
Yeah.
Except for
Yeah.
Manat, who
hmm
has like really good zoning tools with the whole crystal ball thing
The
that she can
ball.
float
Yeah.
and have floating behind you and be able to pull it back at any time. It creates like a level of it creates a dynamic that like anything can happen versus
hmm
like almost every other character in the game is like super rigid in what they can do at any given time. And so I
Yeah.
really find that aspect of her play really interesting.
hmm No, that's true. And I think that to give the game credit, I thought they like the new characters were they were good new characters. Like when they added them, it was they seemed to fill a good like corner of the market that's not there in Street Fighter yet. And I thought they had good design. Um, I just suck as them. And yeah, and just I mean, watching the pros play some of the matches like at Evo, like yeah, it's cool, and I can see why it makes me want to get back into Street Fighter. But I've just moved on. I felt like it was just kind of a bitter taste in the beginning. I'm like, yeah, I've been there, done that. I just haven't gotten back into it yet.
Yeah.